So before we get started, if I'm you, so Derek came up to me before class and he's like, are you going to tell me how to make $1 million today? And I'm like, that's what this class is about. If I'm you, I want to know what am I going to get out of the next hour and a half of my time. And what we are here to talk about today is what marketing can you do to enable you to get more business with buyers and sellers and investors. Okay? So that's what I promise you that you'll get out of this next hour and a half. Are we ready to go? Okay. I'm going to give you a brief overview real quick, set a foundation for you, and then we're going to go over 14 key marketing points that you need to integrate into your business. Under each of the 14 marketing points, there's going to probably be other ideas. So you're probably going to walk away today with about 50 action items. This is not a class to tell you this is how you do it, click here, go here. It's more of what are the things you need to do. And then if you need to go to some of the other classes to learn how to do them, I'll direct you to those classes throughout the class. But my goal is at the end of today that you have an action item list of 40 to 50 marketing ideas that you have a clear plan that you can leave and go execute and grow your business. Sound like a plan? All right, let's go. In marketing, you have 3 seconds to get your customer's attention. And in that 3 seconds, your customer immediately creates an impression about you and about your brand. In real estate marketing, it's about your brand. It's about convincing a consumer to work with you instead of working with someone else, or in some cases, instead of thinking they can do it on their own. It's about your brand, and that first 3 seconds is crucial in your marketing and in the development of your brand. In that first 3 seconds, what your customer does is they judge you. They immediately create an impression about your image and about your credibility. And it's only then, if you're successful at these first 2 items, that they even get to the information you're trying to convey. Now, you could have great information. It's a 4-bedroom, 3-bath, $100,000 under market value, but they aren't going to get there unless you're successful at these first 2 items, and that's where it's all about your brand. The biggest mistake I've seen working with realtors over the last 15, 17 years, I've been in advertising for 31, but working with realtors is that sometimes they get so busy working on their business that they forget about their brand and about the little things they used to do in marketing when they first got started. So I want you to think for a minute, how many of you have ever had a bad first impression that you wish you could take back? Right? Right? All of us. And how hard is it when you create that first impression, is it to change someone's perception about you once the impression is created? It's very difficult, and you don't get the chance, and sometimes it takes forever, and you still can't convince them that, no, you have the wrong impression. That's not who I am or what I am, right? So the reason why I belabor this point at the very beginning is in marketing, you as a real estate professional cannot get too busy to not care about those little things that create your image, your credibility, and your brand. And the marketing team at HomeSmart has given you hundreds of tools, thousands of templates that you can log into and use. Get this going here. Why are you stuck? To create your brand and your marketing. I call it the 3-second battle. Every day you battle to convey this message to a target market that's experiencing information overload. So what you end up doing is you're fighting for attention, you're fighting for time, you're fighting for their interest. And so those 3 seconds matter about getting them to engage with you. So we have something in our world called information overload going on that's getting worse and worse every year. How many of you experience this in your own life, right? Okay, think about your customer for a minute. What are they experiencing? You know, when I first grew up, we had 3 TV stations in my area, and that was it. You know, now there's millions, hundreds, thousands of TV stations. There's millions of websites. There's emails. There's apps that we're supposed to use. There's radio, Pandora, Spotify. So as a real estate professional, where do I advertise? Where do I market myself? How do I reach my customer? And unfortunately, it's all of these. And in all of these, then, therefore, that's what makes that first 3 seconds even more crucial. And so one thing I want you to know about today is not going to be one big aha that you're going to go, wow. It's a lot of little ahas that build up to create a powerful marketing strategy for you. A lot of little things, okay? I'll point them out as we go along. One of the exercises I'll do with an agent is I'll ask them to spread all their marketing out that they've done in the last year on a table. And if it's electronic, print out screenshots of it and let's take a look at it. And sometimes I'm so surprised, or the agent is so surprised at what they look like at the end of the year. They look like 40 different people. There isn't any consistency. There isn't any clear, consistent communication about what they are, who they are, and why someone should work with them. And so what the marketing team has done is we've built we've researched. We've put together a strategy for a real estate professional. And you have to create verbal things that need to be said and visual cues the way a realtor needs to look. And you have to marry these two things together in marketing pieces. If you say you're professional, but you don't look professional, then it doesn't work, it's incongruent. So if you say you're professional, visually you have to look professional. If you say you're easy to work with, you have to visually look easy to work with. So what the marketing team has done is we've created, like I said, hundreds of templates for you to log in and create your brand, and I call it elevating your brand and creating your visual identity. Okay? So those are the things we're going to talk about today. One other thing, in the real estate industry, I feel like 98% of the companies in the industry get it wrong. They think it's about the company's brand. It's not about the company's brand. It's about your brand, your individual brand. You're never going to see HomeSmart run a Super Bowl ad at halftime for $2 million, $3 million bucks, because I'd rather have that $3 million bucks in your pocket doing marketing and advertising for you. That's what builds your business. If all of you then create and build your own individual brands, together the brand collectively grows in the area. And that's what we've done very successfully here in Phoenix and Arizona. And all of you should be benefiting from that. So one of the things we're going to talk about is you always want to put everything into your words, not the company words. You want to put them into your words. So my name is Todd Sumney. I'm the Chief Marketing Officer for HomeSmart International. I run the in-house advertising agency that creates all the marketing pieces for you to use with consumers, all the other marketing throughout the industry. As the franchise grows across the country. We are the fastest growing franchise across the country right now. So you're with the right company, but we are all about serving you, and hope that you get a lot out of today. All right. On that note, I just have to do in every presentation, I got to tell you what our promise is to you. The entire company is built around this recipe for success, which it all starts with service and support. If we want to provide amazing service and support to you as a realtor, to your customers. Matt Widows, our CEO and founder of the company, he still reads 300 comment cards every single week, and if one of them has something one of you is not happy about, it's on someone's desk on Monday morning and it's being fixed. And so it's all about service and support, about high value. That's why we want to give you all this free marketing to use and download. Just put it to work in your business and do it at the lowest cost, in our city. So you ready to go into the 14 things? Yep. All right, so let's start with a foundation real quick. Overall though, key tactics to win more appointments, get hired more with buyers, sellers, and investors, okay? All right, let's go to it. Point number 1. First thing is know, calendar, and do, okay? I'm going to share with you some things that you have to know and that you need to basically understand. In advertising, we do research first, so we know where to start, we know where the competitive advantage is, and we know what to do. Then in the marketing department, we actually put things on our calendar. Most agents, I think a calendar is only for appointments. I have a 2:30 phone call with somebody. In marketing, we use time blocking. We actually will put from 8 to 10 a.m. tomorrow morning, I'm going to work on my presentation to buyers and sellers. And that's what I want you to do after this class, is I want you to time block until you can put a check mark by something that it gets done. So we're going to tell you what to do. You need to put it on your calendar, and then the bottom line is you need to do it. Oftentimes I'll have agents that will come to a class like this, and some of you will leave and go implement everything, and some of you will say, that was an awesome class, but you're going to leave and you're going to get busy with your business and you're not going to implement a thing. So at the end of the day, what it really is about you actually doing something. So I hope you put this to work for you, and let's talk about what you need to do and what you need to put on your calendar. We start with the Realtor Job Description. There's 10 things that we as a realtor need to do every single day, and everybody who sees this list, and by the way, remember, I'm going to give you this PowerPoint, so you'll be able to reference this list, okay? Feel free to take screenshots with your phone, though, at any time of any of the slides, because one that I want you to take a screenshot of is this slide right here, or I want you to reference this page. What a lot of us don't realize is that 5 out of the 10 items that we're supposed to do every day in our business, in our real estate business, is marketing related. So putting it in another term for you, in a 40-hour work week in real estate, do you work 20 hours a week on marketing and 20 hours a week on the transactional items? Or are you busy doing all the transactional items and you're not working on your marketing? And so think about it. When you first got into business, did you have any contracts to write and negotiate? You didn't yet. So what did you have to do is you worked on these 5 things. You were prospecting and generating leads for business. You were working on a database and organizing a database and getting it in place so that you could contact people and really grow your business and grow your sphere of influence. You didn't even have a presentation to buyers and sellers, so you needed to work on one. Well, what I see, biggest mistake, especially with realtors who have been in the business 20 years or more, they get busy with all the transactional and they quit doing the marketing related items. No joke, I had a woman in another class in another part of the country the other day. She told me, I have 7 closings this week, and afterwards I have nothing. I have nothing in my pipeline. That's why I'm in the class today. I'm terrified. And I said, she's a perfect example of someone who's so busy doing all of the transactional that on a regular basis, she wasn't doing the 5 marketing items. And so what happens is you have the roller coaster effect. You get really busy, you're doing all this work, you close all the deals, and then you're like, I have no business, so now I'm going to go do all these 5 marketing things. I'm going to generate some business. Then you get busy again, you quit doing the marketing things, you start doing transactional business, and then next thing you know, you close those deals, and now you're like, I have no business again, and it's this roller coaster effect. So what I want you to do is I want you to write down an action item right now. I want you to work 10 hours a week on these 5 items as a minimum. You can block 2 hours a day. You can block 4 hours 2 days a week and 2 hours some other time. But 10 hours a week, is my mind, is the minimum that you should be working in marketing in order to minimize the roller coaster effect and to also consistently grow your business. And I'm going to show you what some top producers do later. So these are the 5 things you need to focus on and you need to do. And we're going to give you marketing tools to do all of that. So there are some trends going on. We already talked a little bit about information overload, and return to the human is the second trend. I want you to understand why that's important. So the CEO of Google said not too long ago that every 2 days we create as much information on the internet from the beginning of time to about 2003. So every book, every email, every painting, every picture, everything, all that content is being created every 2 days, and it's doubling. How I see it impact my life and how your customers see that impact their life is I used to be able to go to Google and search for something and I could find quickly what I was looking for. Now, I don't know about you, but I find myself redoing searches over and over again, and I have to search 10 different phrases and 10 different things to really find what I'm looking for. And it's because the more information that's out there, the more difficult it is to get the information you actually really need. The other thing is, it's the right information. How many of you have ever had a customer come walk in, I want information on this house, and they're like, that's for sale, and you're like, that home isn't for sale, it's never been for sale, and somebody on the internet has it posted for sale. So there's tons of inaccurate information out there too. So what's happening is, and this is where I want to actually give you a little encouragement. So many people in the industry, they talk about, oh, websites and portals and these technologies are going to take over the real estate business and we're not going to need realtors anymore. And it's like, no, what I see when I look at data is the direct opposite. The more information that's out there, the more the human, the customers actually needing the human element. And they're returning to the human more than ever before. That's why this is out of a trend report that I read that talks about, they call it the return of the humans. So you have 130 million consumers a month right now searching for property on the internet, and they're finding things, and they'll come in and see you with a file folder that thick of printouts. But at the end of the day, they ask their friends, family, neighbors, colleagues, coworkers, brother of a brother of a brother who works with somebody who was your realtor. And that's where farming, sphere of influence stuff comes in, marketing comes into play. So let's look at more stats. Where do we spend our time? 87% of buyers purchase their home through a realtor. Stats are always low. Back in 2001, it was 69%. So see, the trends are going up. 3 years ago, there's a study every year that NAR, National Association of Realtors, does called Profile Home Buyers and Sellers. 3 years ago, this number was 76%. Today, it's 80%. 80% of a realtor's business in the last 12 months came from sphere of influence marketing. So as the technology and data gets out there more and more, they're turning to the realtor more often than ever. So what does that mean for you, though? If I only have 10 hours a week to spend on marketing, I want 8 of my 10 hours to be spent on sphere of influence marketing. Okay, so in marketing, we look at research and we say, where should we spend our time? How much should we spend our time? What are the actions we should be taking to invest money and budget to? You need to be investing it towards sphere of influence marketing. Making sense? 9% of leads are coming from the internet. Only like 3% of them are closing. There's various, reports that are out there. So sometimes I think we want the easier fix. I'd rather go buy a zip code and just pay some money and have leads roll in. But at the end of the day, what the consumer is really needing is they're needing you. So what marketing are you doing that tells them they need you and you're the right person? And then therefore, they want to work with you. Now, one other quick thing about those 5 points. Remember, there's 5 things that you're supposed to do. One of the items is you need to be working on a database, keeping it organized, and stay in touch with your sphere of influence. The reason for that is every year I track this study. I've tracked it now for 13 years. NAR does a study where every year there's about 5 million homeowners that buy or sell a home in the U.S. Okay? NAR interviews about 1 million of them every year, and they interview them and they ask them, would you use your realtor again? And you have to answer yes to both parts. Would you refer them to a friend? 92% of all of the customers interviewed, they say, yes, I would use my realtor again. I would refer them to a friend. So who knows what the number is 5 years later? So NAR goes back to that same pool of people 5 years later. You've been in class already. You can't answer. So 5 years later, they go back and they ask the same pool of people. So what we're going to do is we're going to give away, I'll give away some chamois from the marketing store after class to whoever gets the closest percent. Give me a percent, real quick.
25, 16.
Still haven't heard it.
45. 25.
Somebody was close. 12. Who said 12?
I did.
All right. 13%. Why do we drop from 12? You said 13? All right, so you get some chamois. Come see me after class. All right. All right, so here's the deal. Why does it go from 92 to 13%? They don't even know who their realtor is. They actually ask them, why did you answer yes 5 years ago? Today you're not, you're answering no. And they're like, I don't even know who my realtor is. So shame on us. Shame on you. This is one of your biggest opportunities right here, because if you do this, what is it that, 87% of the real estate population is not doing this. So it's a great opportunity for you. It's working on your database, keeping it organized, and staying in touch with them. Now I've dug into it a little bit. Like, what's our human behavior? Why are we doing this? You guys don't want to be the pushy salesperson. You don't want to be the uncle at the birthday party that's like, hey, buy insurance for me, right? Buy real estate for me. So I want to frame 2 different things. I want to change your perspective on 2 different points of view. One is, flip it from, hey, buy from me, and make it about, I'm here to serve you, or I'm here, more importantly, to serve your friends, family. Who do you know that I can help? And sometimes even turn it around and say, can you help me? Give you a perfect example. I was working with a brand new agent, had no database at all. And they got tired of asking everybody, hey, you want to buy real estate? Buy it from me. I need help, or buy it from me. And we flipped it around on them and we said, instead of asking them to buy real estate from you, why don't you ask them for help? So instead, turn around and say, I'm here to serve. I'm here to help all of you. And so you're one of my friends. Who do you know that's buying or selling real estate that you could help refer me to? I'm trying to get out of the call center and get my real estate business off the ground. Can you help me? And when he asked his sphere for help, they dove in, and all of a sudden he started getting referrals and leads from everywhere because everybody wanted to help him. Referrals have gone up drastically. A recent report I saw, a customer will refer you 3 to 6 times to a buyer, 3 to 6 times to a seller next year. It used to be they'd refer you once. Now it's like social media and all these other things, and everybody wants to be an expert, and they go have a burrito somewhere and they're like, this is the best burrito in all of Scottsdale, and they post it somewhere and they want to share it with everyone, right? So that's the second part I want to frame for you, is you need to change what is socially acceptable to you. Your customers want you they want to share information about you, and they want to help you. So you just sell somebody a home and you're like, why would I send them a just listed, just sold, send them my newsletter? They just bought a home. I'll wait 2 years and then I'll start marketing to them in 2 years. And you're laughing because you know it's true, right? Yeah. Right? And it's like we have human nature. We're like, I'll wait and I'll do it 2 years. 2 years later happens. We get busy and we forget to start marketing to them. I was doing this class somewhere else in the country the other day, and a woman, she felt guilty about this slide, and she basically said, it's been a year and I haven't contacted one of my home buyers. She sent them a text in the back of the room. They literally called her right there and said, sell my house, get me into this different neighborhood. And if she wouldn't have done that, she had lost complete touch with her client. So we'll talk a little bit more about that later. But my point to you is, one of your items is work on your database and keep it organized and stay in touch, and do it immediately. The minute you sell them a home, help them buy a home, you send them a just listed, a just sold, send them your newsletter, because they want to refer it out to all their friends. It's more socially acceptable than it used to be. Make sense? And that's when I track the stats. That's what top agents are doing, and they're growing that sphere. Mobile marketing. This is a photograph of the Pope being installed in 2005 and 2013. We're already in 2017. What would that photo look like now, right? So what does mobile marketing come into play in your business? It's one of the 14 points we're going to talk about. My point with that is the 5 things you need to be doing. This is crucial and key, and it's one of the 5 things you need to be doing. 27 out of 27. Why does that number mean anything? I was doing this class actually here in Arizona in another city, and an agent, I challenged her to work on her presentation to buyers and sellers and use the specific one. We have the best presentation in the industry, electronically and in paper. We're going to go over it in a minute. She came up to me about 9 months later out here in the lobby, and she said, you aren't going to believe what happened. She said, do you know how many appointments I've been on since you came to see us 9 months ago? She's like, 27 appointments. Do you know how many I've closed? 27. And I started to track, after that point, I started to track numbers of how our agents, what their closing ratios are using this listing presentation, and they're through the roof. So one of the things is, I want all of you to write down an action item that you are going to get that presentation ready for buyers and sellers. You're going to have 10 of them ready to go, 5 to buyers, 5 to sellers, and you're going to put it on your calendar until you get that done. And when you have that done, then you're going to start to see a spike in your business, and I'll explain to you why in a couple minutes. The point that I'm belaboring on all this is that the other items will go faster, I promise. But this is the foundation to your marketing and to your brand. And so you have to know where to spend your time and what to do, and that's why I'm trying to give you this information. And I also want to give you some encouragement that the consumer needs you now more than ever. So just keep making that human connection. So I wanted to know if Todd was full of hot air and if what we were communicating to you was the right thing. So I interviewed the top 60 agents in the company. Some of them are making over $700,000, $800,000 in gross commission income in a year. And I wanted to know, what are you using? What are you using in your business? And basically, 43% of them are using paper and the folder and that presentation in their listing presentations, or presentations with buyers, presentations with family members, presentations with investors. So 43% using that paper. Then there's another 37% doing electronically and paper. The aha for me was, that means 80% of them are using paper. They're walking in the door with paper. When we first did that presentation, we did it electronically. We thought you would all download it, you'd use it, hey, it doesn't cost any money to print, do anything. And what we found out was that the results that were working was walking in the door with the print piece. So we started to print these up in advance for you. We have them bulk printed, ready to go, very inexpensively, and it's because of this 80% stat. And then we started tracking numbers of what's working and why it's working so well. I'll unpack that in a minute. Only 10% are using electronic only, and only 10% are just like doing verbal. I don't even know how they're doing that one, but oh well. Average number of hours spent on marketing, 45% of them are working 10 hours a week or more. There's a various percentage working 15 or 20 hours a week or more. But to me, this is the baseline of where the 10 hours a week comes for me. I understand that it's busy, that you're busy and you can't do 20 hours a week or 30 hours a week. Now at the beginning, you're getting your business off the ground, you're a brand new agent. Yeah, 20, 30 hours a week, that's what you do to get it going. But the rest of the time, I want you to do a minimum of doing this. And I'm telling you, if you write this down and you follow this plan, you are going to see results in the next year. So I'm not going to go through this, but this is a cheat sheet for you of where to spend your time, where to put your priorities first. You're going to have a copy of this PowerPoint, but you want to build your brand. You want to say the right things. You want to work on your presentation. You want to focus on your sphere of influence. And you're building, your sphere and your contacts, and then, go from there. All right, point number 2, claim it and say it. This is where your brand really comes to life. What are the right things that you have to say? There's 5 things that your customer is looking for, they want to hear from you. Now this is a perfect example though of corporate wording versus your wording as an agent and your brand. The first thing for most of our customers buying or selling real estate is the most expensive purchase they'll ever make in their life. Unless they own a business, they're not going to buy anything more expensive or for longer term, a 30-year mortgage or whatever it might be. And so we use words all the time like escrow, pre-approval, financing, contract, inspection, etc. And it scares all of them. And we have these contracts that are how many pages thick, right? And they have to sign them all. So what they want to hear first from you, the first thing, is that you will make real estate easy for them. Now remember, for example, the corporate is, hey, real estate made easy. But you need to put it into your words, and we've created marketing for you because it's about your brand that says, I will make real estate easy for you. So what you should do is you should download this. This is a free graphic inside of Real Smart Agent right now. It's also in the Marketing Design Center. All you have to do is go download this right now, and this is a marketing email that you can send out. Database, staying in touch with your sphere of influence so you stay at the 92% mark and don't drop to 13%. 24 times a year minimum you need to stay in touch with every one of your contacts. So this right here is one of your 24 ideas. I'll make real estate easy for you. Post it on social media. And it's got your name, your information there, and then make it be the first thing your customer hears from you. Then there's 4 other things your customer wants to hear from you. They want to know that you have experience, that you have knowledge, that you will provide customer service, and that you have professionalism. So we created this graphic for you to put it into your words again that says, put my experience, knowledge, service, and professionalism to work for you. Now we created a team version for those of you that are on a team that says, put our experience, knowledge, service, professionalism to work for you. But you want to make sure you say these things. And then visually, what does it say? Experience professionalism, because it's got this really nice upscale font. And what is the image? What's the brand that it immediately creates? So one of your opportunities right now is to go get a set of the business cards in the Marketing Design Center. Then on the back of this business card right here, it says, put my knowledge, service, experience, professionalism to work for you. So I'm working with an agent. Worked with them over the last 3 years, and they've literally doubled, almost tripled their income. And all they're doing is doing these little marketing things. And they're just doing all of them, and they build upon it one after another. When she hands her business card out, she hands it out backwards. She's got a great photo on the front, cool little diamond shape and a photo and everything. And she doesn't hand her business card out that way. She hands it out backwards. So in 3 seconds, what's the brand and the image that's created? What's the first thing the customer sees from her when she hands her business card out backwards? Yep, and it's crossing off 4 check boxes of what they want to see from her. And then somewhere else, she's got real estate made easy, and she's covering the whole thing. One other quick little thing, I want you to write this one down. It's called an elevator statement. So right now, I want one of you to stand up and tell me in 7 seconds why I should hire you as a realtor. I'm not going to make you do that. It's just a joke. All right, but here's the deal. You've all been in the elevator. I'm over at Talking Stick Resort, and somebody gets in the elevator with me, and they're like, oh, you're a realtor. I'm getting transferred here into town. Friends are telling me I should live up in Greyhawk or Silverleaf. You know, there's hundreds of realtors. Why should I talk to you instead of talking to everybody else? Well, I'm thinking in my mind, Silverleaf, $2 million homes and up. This is a great prospect right here, right? So I have a friend in Los Angeles. They lost a $3.5 million listing because they didn't know how to answer that question. And somebody asked him, why should I pay you 3% of a $3.5 million home to be my realtor and help me sell the house? And he didn't have his elevator statement down. So once you do that, it's tarnished in it's tattooed in his brain right now. He will never forget. And so I want you to write down, practice your elevator statement. What would you say in 7 seconds to get someone just to have coffee with you? To basically say, I want to meet with you and find out why you're the best realtor for me. You don't close the agreement right there. You don't get hired on the spot. So here's one way potentially of doing it. I'll tell you why I'm the right realtor for you. It's because I'm going to take a complex process like real estate and I'm going to make real estate easy for you. And I'm going to do that by putting my knowledge, my service, my experience, my professionalism to work for you. I have a 6-point process to buying a home, 6-point to selling a home. All I need to do is have coffee with you and I can explain that process to you. An elevator is not the right place to do it right now, but let's just have coffee. And I'll explain to you why I'm the right realtor for you. Now, every time I say that, it never comes out the same way twice. Sometimes it's more professional, sometimes it's less professional. You don't want it to appear canned. But what I do want is I want them to see these things. And I want them to hear these things. And I also want them to know I have a process and I have a plan and I have a system. So I've just worked with agents. I mean, you can create and craft your own, but the agents that I've worked with that have crafted that and also that have that elevator statement, they don't lose $3.5 million listings because they don't know what to say. So the next time you're in a class and somebody says, stand up and tell me why I should work with you, I hope you have an answer. So write that down, make that an action item, okay? And I want that one done in 30 days because that's got to be one of the first things you got to say to get the appointment, all right? So what else can I do? This is downloadable in Real Smart Agent. You can download this and put this everywhere. So one of the things that I do, and I talk to agents about doing, is how many of you have downloaded this and put this in your email signature? How many emails do you send a day right now with zero marketing in them? Or you're out there marketing and you're trying to say what makes you different. Remember your brand in the 3 seconds? Every email I send, when I click send a new email, look what comes up. 2 in the subject, and it's got my name, my info, put my experience, knowledge, service, professionalism to work for you, and every single time what kind of an image or a brand is it creating for me. So right now, another thing to write down is download this graphic and put it in your email signature. And 200 emails you send out a day are now marketing opportunities. They're now brand building opportunities. Even opportunities with your existing clients. You're sending them emails all the time about school information, listings, and you're building your brand. So one of the agents I'm working with, we looked at her testimonials 3 years ago, and they didn't really say much. And now we asked her all her new clients, after she hands out her business card backwards, after she puts this in her email signature, after she puts it on every cover sheet of a thing that she works with a client, how do you think her customers describe her? So the testimonials now say she's experienced, she has professionalism, she has knowledge. That's building a brand. Is that making sense? And then when they describe her to someone else, that's what they're doing, is they're using those words, again, building her brand. Other key phrases, put it in your words. I'll help you get HomeSmart. I'll help you get listed, get sold, get HomeSmart. Get informed, get HomeSmart, get the home of your dreams. And then this one I love because it's instantly in 3 seconds. What do you do? Buying, selling, investing, talk to me, I can help. Buying, selling, talk to me, I can help. So I saw one of our agents the other day created an ad, and at the top, it basically said, buying, selling, talk to me, I can help. Had some information on a property. Down at the bottom it said, put my knowledge, service, experience, professionalism to work for you. And then in small print over here they wrote, I'll make real estate easy for you. They jammed everything into one ad. And I was like, you know what? It works. It works great. And it was a great looking ad. We give you all kinds of graphics right here. You know, here's the team version. but you can download these graphics and just send them out or post them on Facebook. You got to constantly remind your customers, why they should work with you and what you do. All right, now one other little incremental thing about your brand. It's called free presentation, intro, and cover pages. Point number 2. Every day you print stuff out and you go meet with clients. You'll go to a Starbucks, you'll go to an office, and you have listing printouts, and you have school information printouts, and you have finance information printouts, right? And then you go have coffee with them, and you give them this stack of papers, and you throw it on the table. So the agent I was talking to you about that I was working with, we printed out 20 8.5 by 11 JPEGs and have them all ready to go, laser prints ready to go. And every time she goes and meets with a client, she puts one of these pages right on top. When she creates a PDF to email someone, she cuts and pastes this JPEG, and she pastes it as page 1 in the PDF. She sends them an email. They double click on the email. They open up the email. What's the first thing they see? Put my experience, knowledge, service, professionalism. And what does that do also with her brand? Her customers are like subconsciously, they're thinking she is better. She's more experienced. She's more knowledgeable. And like she's seen her approval ratings go up as she's worked with clients. They love what she's doing because subconsciously that's in front of them every single time that she meets with a realtor or a customer. So remember how I was talking to you about realtors get busy and they quit doing the little things? And there's little things that add up to make a lot. These are the little things. I want you to have 20 of these printed out in your office, ready to go. I want you to print out 20 of them and put them in your car, ready to go. So you have them in a little plastic filing cabinet in your car. And to keep it in your trunk, and at any time you go meet with a client, you can have this ready to go. I want you to create a folder on your desktop of your computer that says marketing images, and I want you to download those other graphics that I just told you about and this, and I want you to put it in that folder on your desktop. And every time you go create a PDF or you send an email or you want to do some marketing, you double click that folder, it's right there, cut and paste it, make it page 1, and that's how you build your brand. And that's how you differentiate yourself from other agents. We have different types of photography. We have different examples that you can use. There's all different kinds of photos depending on what area of town you're selling your marketing in. Now, that's really about the right things to say and about building your brand and differentiating yourself. So now you get the appointment and you're going to go meet with a customer. What is it that you want to say when you're in front of the customer? So we created, in my mind, the industry's best presentation. We have it available for you in PDF, Keynote, and PowerPoint electronically. We also have it available for you in print, pre-printed, that all you have to do is take this printed piece, print out the CMA, pull out some pages that you, like placeholders we have in here, and then stick the CMA inside, stick other pages that you think add credibility inside, and you walk in the door to do a presentation. Making sense? Here's how it works. Remember, Realtor Job Description, presentations to sellers and buyers. So I want you to put this on your calendar until you get 10 of these done. Tomorrow morning, 8 to 10 a.m., I want you to get these and get them. And if you want, you can buy them at the front desk. You can buy them in the marketing store. You can buy them online. Now, like I said, when we first started to do this, I thought everyone would do it electronically. So we created all these electronic files. Then what I heard from agents were, it uses up all this ink, and the ink is expensive, and I don't have time, and I don't have time to print them out. And if I go to Kinko's wants $1 a page for color, so it's $60 because this is a 60-page presentation. So, can you print them up in advance? So that's why I said we have them printed up. They come shrink wrapped like this, ready to go. They do have an Arizona image right now, so you don't have to do a thing. You can literally just open it up, walk in the door, and here's how the presentation works. Now, it has 6 steps to selling your home, 6 steps to buying your home. Here's what the 6 steps are. I start by learning your needs, the qualities of your home. Right away, they need to know that you're listening to them and you know their needs. Otherwise, why are you even talking to them? Point number 2 is they get antsy because they want to know how much their home is worth or how much the home they're buying costs per square foot. So they want that CMA, the buyer CMA or the seller CMA. So what they want to do is you need to quickly get into empowering them with powerful market data and intelligence, right? And that's where you say, only realtors have information or access to the software that really can tell what your price of your home really should be, or the price of the home you're buying. It's called a comparable. It's a market comparable, or what's going on, competitive comps in an area. So those online estimates that are 40% off, right? How many of you ever had a customer come in, think their home's worth 40% more than what it is, right? Right? So that's where, again, you re-emphasize only realtors have access to all of this. Then it's like I put my knowledge-proven marketing process, company to work for you, deploy automated marketing tools. I guide you through the process, and I'll introduce you to partners. So how do we break that up here in the printed piece? Apologize. I hate those horizontal pockets that when you flip something upside down, everything falls everywhere and it gets, right, it's a mess. So we created vertical pockets, and the left-hand side is about the customer and their needs and the CMA. The right-hand side is about you and why you're the right realtor for them. And it has a place right here for your business cards. Already has business card slits. You just put your business card right in there. Inside this placeholder, we do have some placeholders inside right here that says put the CMA here, put a market watch report here, put a list of homes in the neighborhood here, okay? So before you walk in the door with the presentation, you want to make sure you pull those pages out, right? And put the new ones in, okay? There's also some blank pages about testimonials and things like that. So you either want to run that through a laser printer real quick and print your testimonials on it, or you want to create your own and slide those in. And then the CMA also does go here. Now, one other unique thing. We have a die-cut diamond on the front that anything you put in the back page here shows through. So one of the objects is that if you want to create your brand, you can put your team marketing, your brand marketing, your name, your logo, your information, and it marries that with put my knowledge, service, experience, professionalism to work for you. It's about your brand. Now, what a lot of agents are doing is they're going to Google Earth and they do a screenshot of the home of the person if on their listing appointment especially. They're selling their home. They go pull up the property. They do a screenshot of the home. They print that piece of paper out and they slide it right in the back, and that customer's home is now showing through the diamond. Or I was doing this class actually up in Colorado. One of the agents came to the class 3 weeks later. She came back to class and she was like, I went by the home. I took a photograph of the property. I printed it out. I slid it in the back door. And I will tell you that that works. I mean, the minute I walked in the door, they're like, that's our house. And she was like, I was hired instantly. So it's those little attention to details, opportunities for you to make that work for you. We do have it available electronically, and I'll show you that as well. So let's talk real quick, though. And by the way, in PowerPoint, it's completely editable. Every single page is editable. If you don't like our 6 steps and you want to create your own, then create your own. And just type and edit and change what you want to change. This is a key marketing piece for you. You could download this and use this as one of your 24 email marketing pieces a year. So real quick, I have an article that just came out 2 months ago in Real Estate Magazine, and it's 4 keys to winning every presentation to a buyer or seller. And it really does work if you just follow these 4 simple steps. So I want you to write these down real quick. Number 1, have 10 presentations prepared ahead of time, 5 for buyers, 5 for sellers. Up in Colorado, one of the women came to the class, and she literally walked out of class, went to the front desk, bought 10 of these. On her way down from Denver to Colorado Springs, she got a phone call from somebody in the Air Force, said they're being stationed somewhere else. They needed to meet with her in the next half an hour. And she was driving down, and I pulled up in the Starbucks parking lot. I went to my trunk. I pulled one of these out, pulled the shrink wrap off. I pulled out some of those placeholder pages, and she's like, I walked in the door, and because I was prepared, he was a military regimented person, wanted to see a process, wanted to see a plan, and she just had it all right there. And she's like, I wouldn't have gotten the listing had I not had this prepared ahead of time. I challenged an agent in Palm Springs who's been in this business 22 years, and she said to me, I already have my own presentation. Why should I use yours? Why should I use this one? And I said, well, you can. Use your own presentation if you want. But I said, is your presentation 60 pages? Does it have a 6-step process? And I said, is it electronic and in print? Does it have this cool little folder that gives you credibility and everything? And I said, so I want to challenge you just for a minute. Let's do a test. And I said, and she's number 3 agent in all of Palm Springs. She's been doing 22 years. And I said, take the pages out of your presentation that you like, and I want you to slide those presentations in here. and I want you to buy 10 of these, and I want you to just try it, and I want you to use it on 10, and then you call me and you tell me how you did. So I didn't hear from her, but 30 days later we had our awards banquet. This is back in February. And in March, we had our awards banquet. She comes running up to me, and she brings her husband, and she wants to have a photograph taken and everything, and Matt's there, and she's like, let's get our picture. And I'm like, what's going on? She's like, you're not going to believe what happened. And she said, you challenged me to get 10 of these. I used 10. I bought 10 more. And she said, in the month of February, I closed 19 listings, 19 transactions with buyers and sellers. And she said, I've never done 19 before in my life. And she said, I literally closed 19 out of 19. And she said, one of the things she said to me was, when I had 10 of them ready to go, I found ways to get more appointments. I found ways to give them away. And she said, because I've never had 19 appointments in a month before. And she said, so one of the things for you is, I want you to have 5 to buyers, 5 to sellers ready to go. And I want you to find ways then to give them away. Because if you have 10 appointments with true spot prospects, how many of them do you think you're going to close using this amazing tool? And then that's more listings for you. So I saw her just the other day, so that was February to whatever it is, September, October. She told me she was disappointed. I was out in Palm Springs. She lost one, and her record year to date is 30 out of 31. So when I start tracking agents, brand new agents using this, I gave it to a brand new agent, never been on an appointment, 15 minutes before their appointment. And they put the CMA inside, they walk in the door, and they won the listing. She stood up in the back of class 3 weeks later, and she's like, you don't even remember me. And I didn't, I apologized. And she's like, you gave me one of these in the parking lot, walking out the door to a presentation. And she's like, I won the listing. And she's like, so everyone, it works. So the reason why I belabor this, and I know I'm harping on it a little bit, is because if you guys use this, the closing ratios from what I'm tracking from agents, this is working like crazy. So this paper version, having it ready to go, is working. Now, why is it working so well? Win with volume. The more pages, the better. You don't go through every page of this presentation. But we wanted to figure out why, and we've asked customers, or asked agents like why they won the job. And basically what we're finding out is the customer compares you against everyone else. So literally one of our brokers up in Seattle, she owns the franchise up there. She walked in on an Amazon listing of a $3.5 million listing with an executive from Amazon. She's like, I sell 50 plus 80 homes a year. I run the brokerage, I'm this. And she had her little presentation, 5 or 6 pages, and that's all I've ever needed. And then she had one of her brand new agents, because 2 weeks before we'd been out there, we did a marketing class. One of her brand new agents walked in the door with this and won the listing. You can call her name's Terry, you can ask her. And Terry's like, Terry Jones. And then Terry had to help her sell the home, and that was what Terry said. She's like, brand new agent. What was that?
She was my past client.
Oh, that's awesome. And so Terry basically helped her, had to help her then sell the home. So now what do you think Terry uses on her presentations? So that's my point. I'm tracking this. I don't mean to belabor it, but win with volume. The more pages, the better. You are not going to go through all 60 pages. I have had an agent one day say they were getting bored, and it's like you're going through too much. You just want to go through those initial questions. You go through the CMA. You highlight a couple little key things, but then you give this to your customer, and they will compare you. And the more pages, the better. The more pages, the more they deem you to be knowledgeable, the more they deem you to be prepared, to have the right skills, that you have the right process, that you're the better choice. So fill it with as many pages as this thing will hold, and you will do better. Customize it ahead of time. I already talked to you about how you can customize it in print. Let's talk real quick about how you can customize it in the driveway or customize it electronically. So one of the things that we have is we have this available for you in an electronic version. So I happen to use iPad Pro. I like the iPad Pro. It's 8.5 by 11. It's big. It's lightweight. And basically what I can do is I have my PowerPoint presentation already preloaded. One thing I love about the iPad, just so you know, is I got my internet right there. I have my email. I have PowerPoint. You can do anything that you need to do. I have notes that I can take with a little pen if I want. But I have PowerPoint. Everybody always asks me, what do you use? I use Microsoft Office 365. Okay, you get PowerPoint, Word, Excel, and something else, and it's like $7 a month, $6.95 a month to use that tool. Okay, so now that software is on my computer or my tablet here. So I'm in the driveway. I click on this text right here and it says edit text. So I click right here and I'm going to say real quick, okay, so what's your last name?
O'Connell.
O'Connell. So capital O apostrophe Connell.
Correct.
All right, the O'Connell family. So I just customized it right there. Okay, then I customize the address. Then I click on this right here, which is the photograph, and I say, I want to insert a new photo from camera. My iPad or tablet, now you can do this with a Surface Pro or other tablets as well, but it turns into a camera. So I pull it horizontally. Don't worry, I'll delete this later. All right, so there you go. So now it says use photo, and I pull the photo, it like locks in place. I go like that, pull it up in here. I say view slideshow from the start, and I've got a photograph of their home. I've got customized information with their name, and then I start to do the presentation, 6 steps to selling a home, 6 steps to buying a home, and how long did that take me? Well, literally the car's running, the air conditioning's running, and you can like customize it right away. Make sense? So what we found from agents is that when they do this, is that the impact of customizing it in print and customizing it electronically is like a big wow factor. It's attention to detail, shows that you are better prepared than anyone else that walks in the door. And then point number 4 is you leave it as a leave behind. Always leave a paper copy as a leave behind. If you don't want to leave the CMA, pull the CMA out. Some agents don't like to leave a CMA. I've heard from more agents that leave everything because that's a better closing ratio for them, but always leave a paper copy as a leave behind. Okay? Now, 6 steps to selling your home. You start with the questions, about your needs and what you're looking for, or what you loved about the home that you're selling, etc. What are you looking for in a new home? Real quick, I just want to show you. You've all had the customer that thinks their home's worth $40,000 more than what it's worth, right? So that's where you set up the CMA. We put charts and graphs in here, and they show how when a home first hits the market, that's when all the eyeballs and the realtor eyes and the customer eyes are on the market when it first hits the market. Days on market vary depending on how hot the market is, but that initial push is always right up at the front. So if you come out of the gate and you're $40,000, $50,000 overpriced, they may love the home, but they don't like the price, so they go on to other properties. And then how do you get them back to view the property later at the correct price? So what happens is later on, when you lower the price when it sits on the market, then you lower the price. Well, then you can't get the customers back. You have to lower it more. You have to lower it more to get them back to look at the property. So that's why it's important that we price your home correctly, or otherwise statistics actually show if you price a home incorrectly, you can end up with less money because you end up doing what's called chasing the market. So that's why we're going to look at these comps here. We're going to look at what the true values are, and I'm going to give you what my recommendation, but then you're going to need to choose what the price of that home needs to be. And you work with them then to get the price, but now you've set that up. And from a lot of agents I've heard, they love this because it really helps them address that right away in a proactive way, and it diffuses a little bit of that. My home's worth $100,000 more than what it is, right? So use these charts to set up the CMA. Any quick questions? I know I belabored that. I'm going to try to catch up some speed. Move on, yeah.
If you end up going without anything but your iPad, then would you email them a copy of your custom presentation or just?
I would. I want them to have that because they're going to compare you against everyone else. One of our agents the other day was looking through this, and they were like, oh, wow, that's good. That comes up, like some of the pages in here, they're like, oh, that comes up in every presentation. It's a question. And so there's tons of answers that are in here. One of our brokers, he pulled a bunch of pages out because he was like, 60 pages is too many. I don't want to walk in the door with that many. And he found himself going to his briefcase and always pulling them back out. Or he found out later, if the more pages I have, the more I win. So I do recommend doing that. So yes, I would email, even if you're not going to go in with the print. Okay? Yes?
And all the marketing tools we're talking about are available at RealSmart Agent?
Yes, so inside of RealSmart Agent, when you click into the marketing button up at the top, so you have your panel of buttons up at the top. One of them says marketing. You click into marketing and you have marketing downloads, the marketing design center, and you have product catalog, and all three of them have various different items that are in it. The marketing downloads are things that you download instantly, like those graphics and everything, and you just use them for free, you don't edit anything. In the Marketing Design Center is where we take your profile, so your name, your cell phone number, your photo, and we marry it with a template we've already created, so like a business card. When you click on the business card you want, you don't have to build the business card. It actually takes your profile, automatically builds it for you, and literally you look at a proof and you say, yeah, it's perfect, I don't need to change anything. If you need to change something, you edit it on the screen, and then you can order your business cards. That works for downloads. So some things you order printing, some things you can download and just then say, but they're customized with your profile. And then we have product catalog items, which are where you buy tumblers, chamois, thumb drives, t-shirts, golf shirts, etc. Pins like this so that people know you're with HomeSmart or you're a realtor. I get asked all the time about this pin, all the time about what is that? And it's a great conversation starter, just about HomeSmart. So I just am a big proponent of all three of those. And the more marketing you do, you use all three of those sections inside of Real Smart Agent, the more you do, the better off your business is going to be. The more marketing, the better. All right, let's go. Let's keep on going here. I got a lot of other things to cover. Okay, so we covered the brand, your brand, building the brand. We covered what you do at a presentation, how to get hired with a buyer, seller, and investor. Let's talk lead gen real quick and let's move pretty quick. Free presentation pages, marketing flyers, videos, and graphics. So we've created hundreds of items for you that you can use 24 times a year to stay in touch with your customers. So inside of that presentation, one of the pages in that 60-page presentation is right here up on the screen. You can pull that individual page out and you can use it as an individual marketing piece. So inside that presentation, there are at least 25 pages that can all be used as individual marketing pieces to post on Facebook, to post on Instagram, to email out to your customers, to print out, hand mail, put in with a business card and send out to your customers. Making sense? So you want to download, some of them we've created 8.5 by 11 JPEGs, you just download and you can use. This is one of the JPEGs that we've created. So if you walk in the door and you say that you work with 1,016 websites, and I walk in the door and I don't say that, who does the customer think is the better agent to work with? If you send this out in your marketing and I don't, who's the better agent? So one of the things, an action item, I want you to write this down. Take out a blank sheet of paper and I want you to write down October 15th, November 1st, November 15th, December 1st, December 15th, January 1st, January 15th. And I want you to do that for a full year. And you'll see that you have 24 things right there. And then I want you to write down next to each one what you're going to send. So out of all the things we're covering today, you should be able to come up with 24 items that you're going to send out either in email or in person, or you're going to print out and you're going to mail, or you're going to stay in touch with your customer, because that's how you stay 92%, not 13%. So one of the items, October 15th, I want all of you to download this JPEG right here, and I want you to post it on your social media, and I want you to email it out to your sphere of influence. Because this right here will set you up as having credibility, knowledge, knowing what you're doing, and good marketing, because you're marketing. List your home with me, I'll market your property on 1,016 national websites. Pretty neat, huh? Okay. Another thing we gave you, this is in the PowerPoint, I'm not going to go through it, but we gave you a whole list of ideas. So to create those 24 items, you could do things like, sports schedules, Arizona State, University of Arizona, football schedules, basketball schedules, the Arizona Cardinals, the Coyotes hockey team. Some of those sports schedules still are the best things because people print them out, put them up on their refrigerators, or you do magnets, or you do postcards, or you do these types of things, or just post them on social media. There's all kinds of ideas. You have all kinds of holidays. You have all kinds of tips. You've got all kinds of annual events. So, like right now the World Series is going on. So send something out about the World Series. Inside of your CRM, we give you all the tools to do all of this. Inside your smart site, You have a CRM admin panel, and when you log in, this is where you can go create your groups. One of the things that I see realtors make a mistake about a lot is they don't have a group called realtors. Now this isn't 30,000 realtors from Armless. This is 100 or 200 realtors that are really working your area, so when you get a listing, you email and market that property to them, because each one of them has a sphere of influence of 5,000 people. One of our, Britton, who runs the brokerage, she went to a party this weekend, and she like had to go download a photograph taken from a photo booth, and when she did, all of a sudden it shared it out with her whole sphere of influence, and it was actually a competing realtor from a competing company. And she's like, oh, you tricked me, because all of a sudden, he's like, yeah, this went out, and it's sharing out like crazy, and it all leads back to my page. And so there's things that you can do working with other realtors, because they all have sphere of influence. My point with that was that all of those realtors, it was only realtors at the party, every one of them had a sphere of influence of 5,000 people, and by taking these photographs and wanting to download it, all of a sudden he was sending marketing to all their spheres of influence, and they didn't even know it. And so we'll do a whole class on that one later. But my point with that is, how many of you have a group called Realtors? And how many of you market to realtors? And how many of you have groups set up in your CRM? Another thing is that we have all kinds of marketing tools. We have newsletters, we have e-cards. I'll explain those in a minute. We have flyers. You can create drip campaigns and plans and things like that and make them go out to stay in touch with drip marketing with your customers and stay in touch with this sphere of influence. This is, again, one of the things that you could download and then go email out to everybody and use. For some reason I'm sticking here. Other graphics. So when we create graphics like Entrepreneur Magazine, sometimes we'll create graphics because we want to marry brand equity from a well-known name together with you. So the customer knows Entrepreneur Magazine. If you post this on your social media, the customer marries the brand recognition of Entrepreneur together with you. And then your name shows up underneath. I have an example coming up here in a minute of an agent who did that. So some agents will look at this and say, why do I care about Entrepreneur Magazine Franchise 500? It builds credibility for you. I'm trying to give you 40 marketing ideas that you can do throughout the year. We created a pre-listing and a farming video for all of you. It's a video that talks about the 6 steps to selling your home. It's a 3-minute long video. We already created it for you. It's in a male voice. It's in a female voice. All you have to do is download and use it or connect the link. How many of you have downloaded this graphic off of the Marketing Design Center? You go log in, it marries your profile information, and it creates this little graphic. You download it, you email this out to 1,000 prospects, and when they say, I'm the right realtor for you, I'll show you the 6 steps to selling your home, they click on it and it plays this video. Simple little easy things to do. I have in a minute, here's what the 4 graphics are. We created them in female voice for individual agents, female for teams, male voice for individual agents, male voice for teams. We created a 6-step process or how to get the video on your front page of your website. All of you have a free website from HomeSmart. Have you put this video on the homepage of your website? And so you want to make sure you download this instruction, like 3 or 4 simple steps. It'll tell you how to do it. All right, social media graphics. So we've created hundreds of social media graphics that you can download and just post without having to do anything. One of them is 6 steps to selling your home. So you download this graphic, post it on Facebook, post it on Instagram, and then have it go play that video that I just showed you. Or Thanksgiving is coming up. Download this and you post it on your social media. You don't have to do anything. 4th of July, how many of you downloaded this graphic and posted it? And if you didn't, you missed an opportunity. So the point is, look at all these free graphics, inspirational graphics. Inspirational graphics are one of the top shared items. People love to see this and then share it with everybody else. So it's a great way of sharing with other people's sphere of influence and grow your sphere. All of you have a profile on Realtor.com. There's like 1.2 million realtors, and 60 to 65% of the profiles are blank and never customized. Customers don't click on blank profiles. If you haven't logged into your profile on Realtor.com, download this graphic from Real Smart Agent, go to your profile, upload this as the background graphic, have your photograph, your contact information right here, all your listings show up underneath. You do that one time and it stays with you for your career as a realtor. And now you've got a customized graphic building your brand. This is also a perfect page for Facebook for business pages. So you can, when you have your personal page, you have a business page, use this as the graphic and the header for your business page. Free graphic to download. We have free flyers, free graphics. Log into the Marketing Design Center, go create graphics or flyers. If you're a new agent, ask another agent if you can market their $1 million listing. One of the realtors I was working with was trying to break into the luxury market. She went to some of the realtors that had luxury listings, asked them and got permission, can I market your property? So then she sends this out to her sphere of influence. And she clearly said it's somebody else's listing, but I'll help you as a buyer find this property. What did it do for her brand when she was trying to break into the luxury market? Customers saw her luxury marketing then, and they kind of put her, oh, she's a luxury agent, and it helped her break into, so then she got a luxury buyer, and after she sold the luxury buyer home, she eventually got her first luxury listing, but she did it by creating luxury marketing in the Marketing Design Center. We also create these flyers automatically when you just put it into the MLS. All you have to go is into your Smart site, copy the link, and paste it. They teach you all this in the Smart Tools class and the Smart Sites class, which is every week. It's really not that difficult. You just have to go to the class, learn how to do it, and put these flyers to work for you. One quick thing, photography. Good photography matters. This is an actual case study here in Arizona. We have a partnership with a company called Virtuance, and Virtuance will do a listing package for you of 30-some photographs. And this is an example of a home. They didn't change the composition of the photographs at all. They just did the photography differently. And look at the difference between them. The home originally sat on the market for 184 days, no offers. They redid the photography. It sold in 15 days later at asking price. So this is one of our Smart partners. It's a Smart affiliate partner that we're bringing to you. So I hope you're taking advantage of this and always using good photography in your marketing. Smart Agent Ideas. If you haven't joined Smart Agent Ideas, pull out your Facebook app right now, log into Facebook, do a search for Smart Agent, all one word, and join Smart Agent Ideas. It's our private HomeSmart Facebook group, and we share ideas back and forth. Like on September 10th, we put a post, hey, tomorrow's September 11th. Make sure you post this graphic on your social media, download it here. And so we also answer questions. Todd was talking in this marketing class about this video. Where do I get that video? So post that question on Facebook. The customer service team, the marketing team will answer your questions. Also, some of the texting scripts we're going to talk about in a minute are all available and uploaded in there as well. Here's an example of one of the agents doing that brand equity sharing, posting on social media, on his social media page. It's examples like that that you can use. Point number 6, new LED backlit yard sign. We are the only company in the industry that has an LED backlit sign. And if you aren't marketing this, you're missing an opportunity to get people to hire you because you will put a lighted sign in their front yard. And customers want to work with the agent that has a lighted sign. Now, talk about brand equity sharing. This graphic is one of the 8.5 by 11 graphics that you can download. This is one of the graphics that should be your 24 graphics a year that you use to market. Because what it says is, hire me to sell your home, I'll put a lighted sign in your front yard, and it has Real Estate Magazine's brand equity that marries it together with you. So this is a free JPEG, download it, send this out. Action item, download and send this out to your sphere of influence or print it out. Some of our agents, this is my neighbor Kelly. She has been a HomeSmart agent for a while. Whoops, I went past, sorry. She has a photograph taken in front of one of her listings with her lighted yard sign. So she not only sends that other graphic marketing out, she also uses this in her marketing, and she sends it out, hire me to sell your home, I'll put a lighted yard sign in your front yard. She uses this in her presentations to sellers. And so she's got an actual photograph right there of her lighted sign. So the lighted sign is $199. If you're creating a marketing budget one of the items that you should do is get one of these lighted signs, because when you put the lighted sign up, everyone else in the neighborhood calls you. So the first time that Kelly, yes?
Are you having any problems with HOAs?
We are not, and I'll address that in just a second. Her question was, are you having problems with HOAs? And I'll explain. I only know of one area in the whole country, and I'll explain that. This is what it looks like during the day. You can't tell that it's lit up. So when you get the lighted yard sign, you get the sign, you get a 3-combination lock, which actually locks it right to the post. It's just a little combo lock. And you get the electrical component to plug it in. You just run an extension cord to the house. I've always been asked, every time I do this, somebody says, is it solar? The solar units are really expensive. If I told you this sign was $600, you wouldn't be as excited. $299 or $200, $199, you can use this over and over again. True story. Kelly, you can also put it in the window of the home. If you ever do have any issues, you can put it in the window of the home, and it's just low voltage LED lights. It's just like holiday lights. They can't stop you from putting it in the front window of the home. True story though with Kelly. So Kelly put it up in McCormick Ranch, and she put up the lighted sign. She literally got 3 other listings within about a 6-week time period in McCormick Ranch of other homeowners who wanted her to sell their home. She also did it recently on my street. So a HomeSmart agent put up a normal sign. The home sat there for 4 weeks, no real activity. Kelly got a flip right across the street. She put up the lighted sign. He got a full price offer 4 days later. Kelly got an offer $10,000 under asking 7 days later. So is it a coincidence? It sits there for 4 weeks, no activity. Kelly puts up a lighted sign. They both sell relatively quickly. I originally thought this was just a listing tool. I'm learning it helps sell the homes faster too, because people do turn down the streets, they drive past the property, and they want to see this. Now here's the other thing. Kelly, she got 7 other homeowners in our neighborhood that have called her that say that they want to list their home in the next 6 to 8 months. She does, and I think I saw last week, she got one of those listings finally. So here's my point. You've all spent $200 on a print ad that the magazine is printed and it's gone. $200 in a marketing budget to buy a lighted sign that will get you more listings, more customers, more brand awareness. When you put this up in a neighborhood, everybody sees your name. This is one of our agents in Carlsbad, California, Kimberly Fell. She sent me this text late on a Friday night. It's like less than 48 hours. I guess I'll have to do the press release on the next one. So it really does work. Some of our agents use this on every property. Several of our agents have 10 of these signs, and they're using them over and over again. And so we created a postcard. This is Kim Henley, one of our elite agents. She has 10 yard signs, I think. She wanted us to create this postcard for her. So we created it, and we put it up in the Marketing Design Center for all of you to use. So I would use this in your marketing. Yes, you had a question back there. Sorry.
I've used them a couple times, and I think they're great, but neighbors that don't like it, unplug it. And I've had it 2 times where neighbors just kept unplugging it, and they were making homes, so I wouldn't find out until I take my drive past the house.
Right.
Do you have any suggestions for that? I know maybe putting it in the window, but is there, I mean...
You could put it in the window. I'll tell you real quick. Always put a timer on it. So one of the things is Ace Hardware has a timer, like for holiday lights, you know? And so in Kelly's case, Kelly always puts a timer that it goes on at dusk, and she's got a little sensor on her timer, and it goes off like 4 hours later. And so that way, there's never any issue about it staying all night long, and neighbors don't seem to get upset if it's not running all night long. Okay, and most neighbors like it, and most HOAs like it because the homes sell quickly and for top dollar using it, and they all want the homes, like they don't want the homes sitting there forever. That's bad value for your home. One of the things else also that Kelly does is Champs locally. Here is a signpost company and installer. Champs has a post that they drill a hole here, and they drill a hole here, and they stick all the electrical down inside the post so they can't unplug it. And Champs charges $10 more to do an electric sign installation than a normal sign installation. And then the extension cord just runs to the home. But the biggest thing is the timer, or put it in the front yard. One of the things you asked about was HOAs. Do we have issues with HOAs? The only, actually there's two places that I know of. One is in Palm Springs, gated golf course community. They just will not allow anything like that, but the agents are putting them in the windows of the home, and there's nothing they can do. The second thing is up north, up in the Twilight White Mountains area, all lights are off, no street lights, and so it's a stargazing area, so it's just not allowed. So you can use it basically from 5 o'clock to 8 o'clock, and then you got to shut it off. But they're using them up there, they're just using them for a short window. And then also early in the morning, they go on early in the morning, and morning is a great drive time for people to see it. We have had homeowners associations we've interviewed. We did an article. 3 different homeowners associations love it because the homes sell fast. They sell for top dollar. It maintains values for all the homeowners. So when you get a listing, post a Facebook post, tag your buyer and seller's name, and then share it with all the other realtors that you know, and all of you should be sharing everybody else's. That's how you tap into sphere of influence. Real quick, we have some new yard sign sizes and templates that allow you to do 24 by 36 to put some custom marketing down at the bottom. As of today, we have a brand new luxury sign that we just put live 2 days ago. And this is what our luxury sign looks like. It is available in the Marketing Design Center. We have a version that is vinyl only. We have a version that actually has 3D metal that actually shows right there on the screen. It's actually a 3D piece of metal that is right on the front of the sign. Luxury is about the listing. This can only be used on homes $1 million and up. But if you have $1 million listing and you're competing for that listing, you can show them this marketing and say, I'll put a luxury yard sign on your property if you give me the listing. So luxury yard sign is available now for homes over $1 million in the Phoenix area. What's that?
You do the lighted luxury?
I personally like the lighted yard sign more. I think the luxury sign, we don't do lighted luxury because they're black. Mobile marketing. This is one of my biggest, one of the items that I see get the biggest results for agents. Well, I started tracking way back when marketing statistics and what works for agents. 98% of all text messages are read within 15 minutes. Even in the last 12 months, that statistic is holding true. 98, how many of you, when you get a text message, you read it, right? Email, not so much. Other marketing, not so much. Other marketing, it works, it builds brand, but when you want to engage a customer, texting is the way to go. Texting is preferred. Texting is safe to your customer. If I ask 10 customers to give me their email address, 10 of them will say, why? What do you want? Are you going to spam me? I don't want to give you my email. And 2 of them will give me their email address. If you ask 10 customers for a mobile phone number that I can text you information, I can text you photographs of homes. The minute they come up for sale on the market, 10 customers will give you their mobile phone number. What happens is texting is safe. They don't have to have the uncomfortable conversation. You can literally call a customer and they won't answer the phone, and you can send them an immediate text and they will respond to the text. So why is that? Right? Because they don't have to have the uncomfortable conversation. So I did a study with an agent where the agent had contacts, I think it's 1,000 plus contacts. They did an email once a month. They called them twice a month. They did 1 postcard once a month. They did a newsletter once a month, and they set them up for automatic listing alerts. When they would call their customers, they got very little engagement. Nobody would take the calls. 1,000 contacts, 6 communications a month, over a 6-month time period, 32,000 tries. She sends out 1 text and she gets an immediate response. So that's where I started to say there really is something to this texting, and we started to write up texting scripts. So we wrote up texting scripts for all of you that are downloadable in Real Smart Agent, and they're downloadable in the Marketing Design Center, and they're downloadable on that Facebook Smart Agent Ideas. And I want you to print these out, and I want you to have them somewhere as a reference. And I want you to start texting your customers. So the agent that I worked with on that study, right? She literally would send out a text, get a response. Day after we did a marketing class up there on texting, blizzard hits up in Chicago. She can't do anything. She can't go anywhere. So she puts a fire in the fireplace, true story, opens up a bottle of wine, cranks up the holiday music, and she's sitting there and she started her phone on letter A and she started to text. And by the time she got to the letter D, she had to stop. She had like 4 new listing appointments for when the snow let up, 5 people that wanted her to go show property, and she probably had about 15 people that were saying, send me photographs. So she's going to the MLS, she's searching for links. Instead of emailing them the links, she was cutting and pasting the links in her email on her phone and then texting them to the customers. And the customers were responding like crazy. And so we started to do, and we created, and then began to test, texting Thursdays. We've tested other days, Tuesdays, Mondays, Sundays, Saturdays. There's something about a Thursday that works. Thursday's right before the weekend. Customers are thinking about real estate. They're preparing and planning their real estate. In her case, it was a Thursday. She was doing that texting. So one of the things I would like you to do is to write down on your calendar for the next 12 weeks in a row. Every Thursday from 1 o'clock to 2 o'clock, you can spare 1 hour to text your customers. So from 1 o'clock to 2 o'clock or 2 o'clock to 3 o'clock, whatever works for you, I want you to text every single person in your phone. If it's an inspection company, text them and say, thank you for serving my customers over the last year. They might give you another referral. Anytime you engage with a customer, it's a point of contact that all of a sudden you can get engagement. Usually when I'm doing this class, someone in the back of the room will text someone and they'll get a response. And they'll say, tell the whole class, it really does work. That's why I said last week that one woman, she texted, she got a phone call, I hate the neighborhood, sell my house, get me into this neighborhood, and he only bought a year ago. And that's 2 transactions for her on 1 text. So I started to track, and we started to track results. And when I interview top agents text every single week. So I would like you to do a test, next 12 weeks, 1 hour a day, you can do it. In Smart Agent Ideas, in the files area, this is where the scripts are. So I got a question for you, real quick. No mass texts, by the way. Everybody always asks me, isn't there a tool that can text, 100 people at once? Yeah, and it doesn't work. What works is the customization of, hey, it's been a while since I've seen you. I was thinking about you, and I just wanted to say hi. Hope you're doing well. Let's catch up sometime soon. And what you'll find is on a generic text like that, non-real estate related, the customer will bring it back to real estate. So the text that the woman in Colorado did at the end of that back of the room, that was the exact test. Hi, I've been thinking about you. It's been a while since we talked. I just wanted to say hi. Hope you're doing well. Let's catch up. And they texted back and brought it to real estate or called back and said, I want to move. Help me sell. Help me buy. So the customer will bring it back to real estate. So one little action item for you is I want you to do a test and try to capture 2 mobile phone numbers a day. Somebody, you're at a Little League game, and they're like, oh, I love this neighborhood. It took me 45 minutes or an hour to get here. It's like, would you like me to text you homes that are within a 3-mile radius the minute they come up for sale? Yeah, I can text you photographs. Top agent tip. Instead of sending email alerts to their email of listings as they come up for sale on the market, get the email alerts sent to you. You open it up the email on your phone, you cut and paste the link, and you text it to your customer. You do 10 emails and you do 10 texts and you track the results. The texts the customers will look at and they will want to see and they'll engage with you. And that way you're also proofing the home first. You're not sending them something they don't like. So here's my challenge to you. If you do this for the next 12 weeks, every Thursday for 1 hour, do you think you can get 1 buyer, 1 seller to engage with you in that 12-week time period? Most agents say yes, and most agents that I track and I do this with, they get more results than that. So let's just say you do that all year long. That's 4 additional homes that you could sell next year just by texting. So on the average commission here in Arizona, it's about $7,000 a month, or $7,000 a transaction. So if you do 4 homes by texting all year, 1 hour every Thursday, which you can do, $28,000 to $40,000 of additional income next year just by doing that one thing from this whole class. So if I told you right now, I will hire you next year and I will pay you $28,000, every Thursday to put a fire in the fireplace, crank up the music, drink wine, and text. And you just have to text people, and I'll pay you 28 grand. Would you take that job? Okay, right? So why won't all of you leave today and take that job and do it for yourself? And that's my challenge to you. Because I've worked with agents, and they come back a year later, and they're like, I can't believe it, how well it works. And you gave us all the scripts. I just have to use them. And it's those little things right there that'll make a big impact in your business. So please do this texting next year. Yes, Bronson.
Why is Thursday the best day?
Thursday's the best day because it's for the weekend, and it sets up the weekend for you. Yeah. Print Marketing Center. So we created all these items in the Print Marketing Center for you. We have business cards. We have email signatures. So right here is the Print Marketing Center. Business cards, the email signatures that are down here. The presentations that you can edit are here, or pre-printed ones are right here. You can go online, order them, go create postcards, emails, social media graphics that you can download. There's tons of graphics in there, and like it says create, and it's free. It'll just download to your computer. So go in and use the Marketing Design Center. Point number 9, use all of the free technology. We've created a free website for every one of you. You can also customize this header on your website. So agents often say, oh, the URL is way too long. Go to GoDaddy and buy toddsumney.com, yourname.com. It's $9 for a year. And then you make that address work on your website. Then go upload 7 photographs of your own. One of our agents, every time he sold a home, he'd take a picture of the family in front of the house with his yard sign and the sold sign. And he uploaded 7 photographs, 7 families, and it said the Sumney family, another happy customer. And when he uploaded them into his photograph, right here you see that family. It looks like a custom website for him. One of our agents here in Phoenix, she only does luxury homes, $3 million and up. She took a photograph of 7 different luxury homes. She's literally in every photograph right here with her name and her phone number. And she uploaded the 7 photographs. And now she's got a total luxury website just by uploading 7 photographs. Free websites, easy to use. Just upload some photos. We create posts automatically when you put a listing into the MLS for Facebook and Twitter. All you have to do is go into your smart site and hit My Listings and copy and paste the link and paste it on Facebook. And then you can even boost them. You can do other Facebook marketing, but we already create the ad for you. You can send it out. You can tweet it out. We create business cards for you on Twitter that you can tweet out that have your information in there. We've revised all the searching of the websites, so your agent websites are all mobile and map search. We've redone the smart tubes so that now there's intros in front of every YouTube video with customized information. The smart tour is one of my favorites. 24 times a year, you're supposed to be marketing to your customers. Some of our agents are going into the smart tour tool, and they put in 5 MLS numbers of homes that just hit the market in the last 2 weeks. And then they email this out. And so that's one of the 24 emails that they do a year, or in some of our agents' case, they do it every month. These homes just hit the market in the last 2 weeks. Thought you would want to see them. And customers love getting that because then they see what's out there on the market, and then what does she stay? Top of mind awareness with her sphere. Simple and easy to do. You go pull up Smart Tour, you literally enter 5 MLS numbers, and it creates the Smart Tour for you. You just have to send it out. So learn how to use these tools, the CMA tool, every door direct mail, free e-cards and postcards. Remember in the CRM, we had a tab up at the top that said e-cards. When you click on that, it'll create an e-card for you of a just sold, a just listed, or find out how much your home is worth. Enter an MLS number, it'll automatically pull the data. It'll automatically put your information at the bottom with your photo, your contact information. All you have to do is upload 300 names and then hit send, and it'll email this out through our system to your customers, and you just did an e-card. So go to a Smart Tools class, learn how to use this, make it work for you. Just find out how much your home is awesome to do as well. Then we recently integrated the Marketing Design Center with the United States Postal Service. When you click on some of the postcards, they say every door direct mail. They're designed to be print postcards that literally go to every homeowner in a postal carrier route. So you put in a zip code up here, any zip code in the United States. It'll hone in on the zip code and it'll show you all the different carrier routes. When you click on a carrier route, it'll tell you 320 people live in this area. You click on a second one and it'll tell you combined between the two, 547 people live in these two postal carrier routes. And this is how much it'll cost you to mail to them or do postcards. It takes care of the printing and the postage. You used to have to go to the post office and drop stuff off. This is a full turnkey system. You go into the system, pick your neighborhoods, and literally press done, and it'll create the postcard, print it, take it to the post office. You don't have to do a thing. All you have to do is choose how much your marketing budget is. If I were you, I interview top agents all the time. Magnets and postcards are things that they all still do, the top 60 agents in the company. They get great results from that type of marketing. It's not going away. So 6 times a year, I would do a print postcard if you can afford it. 6 times a year, I would do an electronic version. So we have these postcards created, the power of my network, luxury postcards, put my experience, knowledge, service, professionalism to work for you, just listeds, just solds, find out how much your home is worth. This one I love because I would say home values in 85018 have risen 22% in the last 6 months. So 85018 is a hot zip code, no inventory. Home values are rising regularly. So you send this out to homeowners in that area, they might not know, oh, home values have gone up that much in the last 4 months, 6 months, maybe I should talk to a realtor. So it can help you get listing appointments. 2 more quick things for sale by owners. You still see for sale by owners every now and then, and they think they can sell their home for more not using a realtor than using a realtor. True story, the owner of forsalebyorner.com couldn't sell his own home himself. 6 months, he had to take it down off the market. He eventually hired a realtor. He hired the realtor, sold it for $150,000 more than he was trying to sell it for by himself using a realtor. This is a true news article out of realtor.org. You can download this graphic and send it out to customers that are trying to sell it themselves. Some of our agents download this on their mobile phone, and when they see a for sale by owner, they text it to the phone number of the for sale by owner. And all they're trying to do is say, hey, sometimes using a realtor results in more money, not less money. Industry statistics would say that. Here's a news article to consider. Here's industry statistics to consider. The same home sells for 40 grand less, not using a realtor. Maybe using a realtor is a better move for you. Can we just sit down and go through my marketing plan, and I'll tell you why I think I can help you. So, sphere of marketing and social media, point number 12. And then I will be done in 5 minutes here. We have done a partnership with a company called Relola. Inside of your Smart Tools system, there's a tab called Lead Gen Relola. And you click on that Relola button, and it will take you in and it will teach you how to use this tool. The long and short of it is that if you go tour homes here in the area and you answer 4 little simple questions, the system will create a map of every home that you've toured. It'll post it on your social media. It'll post it on your agent website. And it'll create these little posts that you can post on your social media as well. And then as customers are searching Google, some of these, they're called insights, property insights. They actually show up when somebody's searching for a neighborhood like McCormick Ranch. And the customer clicks on it, and they see your review of the home. So here's how it works. You go tour the home. You're touring 4 homes for a buyer. Only one of them is worth showing the buyer. So instead, 3 of them were a waste of time. Well, now you do an insight on all 4, and you create 4 pins on your map. You answer 4 little simple questions through the app. You speak right into the phone. The home was awesome. The only upgrade that needs done is the kitchen appliances, and the cabinets need redone. Other than that, this is an awesome home. but that's why it's $100,000 under market value, which makes it a great deal. Whatever you want to say, put it in a positive spin, but you create something about the property, and then it shows up. It creates what's called a property insight, that it shows something like this, and then the customer clicks learn more. They go right to your website, and then it creates this map that shows up on your smart site, and also on your Facebook page. It's also got something called a Rolodex that you put in partners, inspection companies, test companies, pool companies, moving companies, title, mortgage, etc. So you create a Rolodex of people that is a resource for your customers, and you market it and send it out. This is all through Relola. So go learn how to do that. And I'm going to skip through some of this social media stuff real quick. Questions agents always get asked, what do I post on my social media? Number one thing right now is home improvement tips. And you can find them on Pinterest, Wasted Spaces, etc. The top 5 TV shows in the country are all home improvement related. Fixer Flip, Fixer Upper, Property Brothers, etc. Those are all very popular. This is what customers want. So you can find the resource on the internet and then repost it on your social media. All right, let's skip through. Point number 13 is attend the training. We have all different kinds of training which you're doing here today. You're doing the right thing. Make sure you're learning about those tools I just told you. Please write this one URL down. We created a brand new web page for you called homesmart.com/training. And in one page, we've posted a whole bunch of different videos that talk about the different topics. So smart sites, short little video. We have PDFs that tell you how to use some of the tools. And then we also, at the very bottom of the page, we have, there's presentations, the lighted yard signs, social media, and then we have Did You Know webinars. All that is on that one page. So late at night, you can do this in the comfort of your own home. Go to homesmart.com/training and watch those videos. So here's the last item, and this is the worksheet in front of you. It's a marketing plan and a budget. I want all of you to create a one-page marketing plan. On the page you have in front of you, I already created a page that had ideas for you based on some of the things we talked about today. But one of the pages is blank, and I'm going to email you all the Excel file so you can create your own electronically, because it'll actually project for you how much money you can make, and it'll tell you what your marketing expenditures could be for the year. So let's give one quick example. What does it cost to say the right things? Nothing. Saying the 5 things. How many homes do you think you can sell next year by saying those and making a point to using those everywhere? Can you sell one more home? That's worth another $7,000 to you. Texting Thursdays doesn't cost anything. We already talked about potentially that's 4 homes for you. So the expense would say 0, and it would say $28,000 of income, and you think you can sell 4 homes. A lighted yard sign, there's an expense, $199. In my neighbor's case, she bought 1. She got 3 additional listings. So one $200 expense, $200 goes in the expense line item, and then she said, I think I can sell 4 homes. So $28,000 went in the income. $200 to make $28,000, pretty good, right? Well, now she's bought, I think, 6 signs. So her expense is now $1,200. But how many more listings did she get because of it? And it shows the ROI on every expense. One of the things that I would like you to do next year is anytime you do a marketing expense, write it down on this sheet and make sure you're tracking that budget. $200 for this, $200 for business cards. And then when you hand out business cards all the time, do you get leads? Do you get something from it? Put an ROI next to it. But it'll also keep you from wasting money. But here's the thing, and this is the last point I'm going to leave you with. I've had agents that are brand new into real estate, and typically when I do a class like this, when we have a little more time, at the end of this list, it'll literally show we can sell 42 to 45 more homes next year by doing these 30 different things. And my budget is only $6,000. So literally sell 1 home, I pay my marketing budget for a year. And then I have a brand new agent that they don't know any better because nobody's told them they can't do it, and they go sell 32 homes. A woman in Palm Springs last year, young mother, 2 kids. She did this, printed this out. I came back a year later, and she's like, I quadrupled my income in the last year. She sold 30 plus homes, and she said, because that marketing sheet told me I could. And I did this one thing, and I sold 1 home. And I did this one thing, and I sold 4 homes. I sold 1 a quarter. And I did this one thing, and I sold 3 homes. And next thing you know, she sold 32. And there were other agents who were like, you can't sell 32 homes in a year you got to spend all this money or do all this. And it's like, she just followed the plan. So what I would ask you to do is fill this plan out, and I want you to get an accountability partner. And I want you to get one person, and I want you to share your list with that person and go have lunch with them once a month and ask them to hold you accountable, or you hold each other accountable. So here's my example of that. If my wife saw my list and it said I could make $28,000 by texting, 30 days later she would be like, have you done that yet? Have you done it yet? Have you done it yet? Right? Have you done it? And then next month I'm going to have lunch with you and I'm going to tell you, have you done it yet? And every day, have you done it yet? So my point is if you do that level of accountability and you fill this one plan out, I have hundreds of stories of agents who this one thing transformed their business using what you learned today. Didn't you have like 40 items that you could write down and put on this list? So the difference is go execute, go do it, get it done. Thank you. I know I ran late. Yeah, sorry. Yes, Bronson.